It's not that ADHD is denied credit yet. Palantir might change that. But it's bad. It's a bad idea. It's a bad idea for anyone. And usually safeguards for ADHD just make life easier and nicer for everyone in all organizations. That's what I've found. Once implemented properly. ADHD is not just being forgetful. It is an actual disability that is protected under the Equality Act. That's a specific law that was brought in 2010 that I genuinely need. And most other people do. Everyone needs. But it's been brought in for us because of impulsivity, attention regulation, impaired executive function. There are material differences in the way I perceive the world and you as a neurotypical perceive the world. And people really struggle with this. Even the closest to you, partners, managers, they don't understand that it's wired. I don't just keep forgetting. I'm not being rude to you, Karen. My ability to remember what you said to me last week is actually tied to dopamine fluctuation today, now. It's not that I can't remember. I'll remember tomorrow, and then people are confused by this. It's just in this moment, my adrenaline is pumping. I don't remember anything. My brain gets fogged. This dopamine regulation could be air pressure. For me, I also have autism, so it could literally be the air pressure or somebody's humming. And then that's making it harder to just be alive because I'm trying to regulate and stay in homeostasis. If I'm in a hostile environment, that impulsivity can become a liability and I can get manipulated easily. Blurting something out that you didn't really think, tapping a card before you've even decided if you want it, mispronouncing a word in a video, not because you don't know, but because you're having a brain glitch. English is not supposed to be my first language. When I get punished for that socially, it becomes emotional for me because it's a barrier I can never overcome. No matter how much you tell me that this is the pronunciation, I can have another brain fart in another moment and it will slip out again. That has caused people to leave me, for relationships to break up. You weren't listening. It's the reason people call me ditzy, brush my ideas off as stupid, and build systems that penalize my existence. I call it the ADHD tax. Hang on, I have a book. A Dutch client purchased this for me in an airport in 2016. It's just a book that I read when I worked in high finance, doing strategic communication for investment bankers. No shade to the authors of this book. It's called Nudge. Improving Decisions About Wealth, Health and Happiness. This is actually a decent book because they're trying to improve the decision-making process for your wealth, health and happiness. The system, for the most part, is designed to prey. A lot of the recognized nudge strategies from this book create a gamified experience for a neurodiverse player that other people can avoid because they don't get brain glitches, moments they're hijacked that they can't control. The death trap is not an accident. It was engineered. For neurodiverse ADHD populations in particular, it is so much deeper. It's a system that's designed to exploit my neurology. They bought me this book to make me a better communicator. That backfired. Governments and corporations deliberately use choice architecture. The idea that you'll feel free, but the system around you is still shaped in a way that forces you into different paths. You rarely act as a rational economic thinker because you do that best when you're calm and relaxed and stable. Most of the time, you're relying on shortcuts to get through the day. And so you'll pull on emotional impulses. I just don't feel like going. To actually sit down and make a list of all the reasons why you just aren't in the mood anymore is unlikely for most people. Yet when it comes to like pension enrollment, it's assumed that everybody does this. That's systemic violence. The internet is full of these nudges. They're built into the design of the platforms you use. They're thought about a lot. People buy books for specialists in airport. All of these reward schemes, the points, the miles, the cashback, they're giving you a dopamine hit. So the ADHD brain is more susceptible. I'm struggling my best with concepts of delayed gratification, regulating impulses that I go on to regret, and having to learn that the hard way through actual painful experiences and mistakes. Because we live in a world that amplifies short-term reward for everyone. What protects me is safe for you, because that's predatory. Just get a credit card dismisses that lived experience. I had a credit card in my 20s. It was a bad idea. I cannot do that again. It is not safe for me, genuinely. There's nothing that is going to keep that safe. It's from someone who has not had my lived experience. They haven't had their relationships ruined. They haven't lost their job and their financial stability before. Capitalism presents credit as freedom, but it's, for most disabled people, imprisonment. What is marketed as instant convenient, instant purchase, instant approval is coercion. Banks, employers, even strangers online weaponize systems of dismissal that erase disability reality. Ethical finance would mean designing systems that prevent harm. Instead, neoliberal policy is dismantling welfare and expanding the credit state. Our ancestors fought to stop enslavement. The continuity here is stark. Medieval serfdom, colonial credit traps, neoliberal debt markets. A slave by any other name. I am surviving and refusing to play the devil's game.